I've got on my trusty Snow White clip and my rainbow clip for today's makeup challenge video. Hello and welcome to this week's makeup challenge video. This week I'm going to be starting with my brows first because I feel like by the time I'm done with every other thing, I just feel very tired or very fried emotionally to focus enough to draw my brows the way I want them to be. So now that I'm still vibrating with energy, I feel like I'll be able to focus more in drawing my brows. So as usual, I'll take off the glasses, get our mirror and try to draw the brows. I'm using this trusty pencil. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to be working with today. I don't know, the people, now that I'm drawing, I see why people might not start with the brows because I've not applied concealer or any form of powder up here. So I'm going to have to remove it. Makeup plan for today is that I saw a certain look online and I wanted to try recreating it. The point of it is to have this spectrum of colors on my face, and I feel like making the spectrum more neon toned, neon colors or neon effect. I don't think I have that sort of pigment here, but I'm going to just, like I said, I'm just playing around with it, so it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. I'm just having fun with myself with this video. So let's continue. So, I already had a picture that I saved to use as reference, and this is the picture. And then I had this other picture I saw that reminded me of not reminded, it was her. She's the creator, or she's this person. I don't know if you know Nazria, I think that's her name. She does really spectrumy kind of color, makeup styles, and I wanted to also put her this particular one here to, like, cross reference, pick from both of them and do. But I don't know, there's this feeling that's come upon me now that it just feels so stressful to go through all of that, to try to go back and forth and try to using what I have to create it. It feels like so much work in this moment, and so I don't think I'm going to be doing it. I'm just going to keep, I don't know, the image of what I want in my head, and then just go off on vibes basically to do today's look, to come up with today's look. I don't know, maybe the weight of the world is weighing upon me right now. Like, I feel like I'm deflating, I started this video before now, like I did a little prep on my face, skincare and all that. Not really skincare, but just cleanser. Then I, shaved my brows, and all of that, and I was like, okay, let's get this video on the road. But right now, the idea of using those references just seems so stressful. I don't know why this seems so stressful. I don't know why this seems so stressful. I wish. Should I journal for a bit? I feel so deflated, right? I feel like I was so strung out or high strung. Imagine, it's not been long I got out of bed, but I feel so strung out and as if I've been wired tight for a very long time, and I'm sort of deflating. And then I think it's kind of stressful for me because I realize It's coming to me that when I do my makeup, I do it as a way to empty my mind of things. And I don't know, when I do it, I feel very a bit of satisfaction, in the processes, and all of that. I feel satisfaction in that process, and then I feel, I don't know, I just feel a bit. Today is different in a way. I'm anticipating enjoying it because I don't know, it's going to come from my head, from within. It's going to come from within, excuse me, but um mm, I feel like also maybe it's because I had this whole thing planned to say or to talk about, and I don't know, I changed my mind because I feel like talking about it would put some parts of my life on blast, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. You know, it all comes back to what I want to talk about, which is people pleasing. I was watching an Eckhart Tolle's video on how to, I don't know, is it how to handle people pleasing or how to, you know, turn away from people pleasing, something like that. And he was like, there's this line that starts the video. He says that um for you to think that somebody will come into somebody else, somebody external, has to, that you can explain to somebody external in such a way that they will come into full acceptance of who you are, that is just deluded, you know. And although I'm at this point where I feel I can clearly tell that I'm not trying to make anybody, especially not, my present circle, I'm not trying in any way to make them, understand me, or I don't know, accept me for everything that I am, I'm not trying that, but I just had this whole bubble of resentment from that moment last night till now. I don't know if it's still there. It kind of faded away when I went to sleep, but I feel so deflated now because the high strongness of that feeling, I think it's kind of leaking out of me now, and it's, oh. So the resentment being that looking at my past self, or looking at the past persona and what they, how they tried to, how they really, how they went all out with people pleasing, meanwhile the people that they were pleasing in that sense were not even, like, they were living their own truth, they were living their authentic selves, they were being everything that they were, and for some reason my past persona was like, oh, you need to spare these people's feelings. And it's like, when somebody is being their authentic selves, it does not, they will definitely, if you're around such a person, a lot of times, especially if you are not also living your truth, your feelings will be hot. And your feelings are hot because you feel like, I'm trying to spare these people's feelings, I'm holding space for their emotions and for everything, but why can't they give me that same grace? Why won't they give me that same, not like they can, they just won't. You get, they rather I be something that I'm not, so that they can be very comfortable, and they want it to last till the end of their days. And so instead of focusing on the resentment, I think I'm going to just focus on gratefulness that even if it was a majority of the time, I still had my moment where, even in all that pressure, even with all that pressure, I still managed to, stick up for myself. I still managed to say no's. I said a lot of no's. It became a thing, like, oh, are you saying no because you just don't like me, you just don't want me to be happy? And it's like, I've never wanted you to be happy, not in the way you want to be happy. I'm not responsible for your happiness. I've never, if I ever made you feel that way, that's why I'm saying no now, so that you can feel free, knowing that I don't want to play any part in your happiness. And so I'm grateful to myself for being a no person at that period. Like, I was really a naysayer. I said no. It seemed like I was a hater. I said no to everything. And I wasn't saying no, to also prove a point in that way, like, well, let's rebel. No, I was saying no because that was the truth of it. Like making up now, the person would be like, oh, let's go out, and I would say no. Okay, we're going out now. Let's say unavoidably I have to go out with them. I dress in the loosest kind of clothes. I dress as in loose, being free flowing. I don't put on any makeup. I don't even try to look presentable like I know they would expect. But for me, I have a very laid back energy when it comes to personal appearance. I am very laid back. I don't care except when I want to care, which is very rare. So I will just be my full self, because I know that if I'm unavoidably going somewhere with that person, to involve a lot of acting, a lot of persona playing the role, while I take a step back. And if you are waking to a persona playing a role for you, and you want to kick that persona out, like, okay, I'm here, go away, I don't need you. But because this type of person is this type of person, I know that I have to take a step back. So to suit that part of me that will take a step back in such interaction, I would be my most freest in personal expression. I wouldn't do any makeup. I wouldn't put up any flares. I wouldn't put up any airs. It would just be like, okay, let's comfort ourselves that we are expressing ourselves as exactly the way we see fit. So that means we have a voice. That means we are in control. We are just letting this thing be for now, because that is just what the environment demands. So yes, I want to focus on gratefulness, that for so long, even if I've passed the quarter life stage, even if I've passed that quarter life, whatever age, it is I can take joy, I can be happy for myself that I didn't live a lie throughout all of that period. Is that thing where you come to realize that for the longest time, growing up as a child, a lot of times I use the pronoun I. I want to do this, I like this, I want that, I'll go to this church, I'll believe in your God and all of that. I believe in my God, not your God. I'll believe in my God. This religion is for me and all. And saying all of that, doing all of that, I really felt I was the one making the choices there. Then you get. But now awakening to infinite awareness or infinite consciousness, I see now that I was just like a puppet, being pulled according to the puppet master strings. There was nothing that was me or mine or my will then. Even before I came to this stage where I am, because the whole idea of awakening is in stages. Before I got to this stage where I was, where I can begin to speak for myself and speak my truth, I had this moment where I was convinced that I wanted to study medicine, and then my family was going along with it as though they're just supporting this person, even if there are no resources to support the person, let's just do our best to support this person. And then I came back, it was abroad, and then I came back and I was like, okay, I don't think medicine is for me, expecting, even if a few questions, a few questions, just questions. Okay, why? You've had this dream for so long. What happened? Can you give us a bit of explanation? We need something. And I came back to like a volcano erupting. I was met with a volcanic eruption style of reaction. Everything just fell to pieces. I realized that I didn't realize it then as in awareness still, but because I can't process emotions in the heat of it. It takes time for me to process emotions. I have to step back. But this in that period where I was like, okay, I'm no more doing what I said I wanted to do anymore. I had this moment where it was just back to back eruptions. There was no moment for me to breathe. There was no moment for me to really process the hurt I was causing to these people. There was no moment to, I don't know, take accountability, in that sense. Nothing. Or to take stock of what I was feeling. Everything was just like, just survive this day, just survive this moment of screaming, just survive this moment of absolute vitriol, just survive this moment, just survive this moment was what I think that was the mantra I was going on in my head. And everything fell to pieces entirely, you get. So it's that kind of thing where for somebody you think for a long time that you are in charge of your life, or you're the one calling the shots, or you have free will, and then you step away from the norm. You just take your own, try to step a little bit out of line, and then you realize there was a lie. You realize you don't have the free will you think you thought you always had. You realize that you were just being pulled according to some puppet master strings, and it's just very, some days it just hits me. I think that was what that line that Eckhart Tolle said. I think that's what it did to me. It just hits me like, oh, okay, this is a full blown. I don't know. It was not exactly, the way I'm saying it now. It's just awareness, leading to more awareness. God, I feel like just wrapping myself up in a cocoon and just I don't know, just breathing through it all. I don't know. I think this will be today's video in the sense that I don't feel like I can function in that sense. I don't feel like I can function, and my whole pact with this channel being that I will always be true to what is on the inside. So right now, this is what is on the inside. When I came back and I was like, okay, I don't even subscribe to your religion, because your religion, your specific type of denomination, in Christianity there are denominations of self-deceit. That's what I call them. Just deceiving themselves. There are denominations, they keep telling themselves, oh, we are separate, we are not Catholics, we are not Orthodox, we are not Pentecostal, we are not MFM, we are not Redeemed Christianity, we are not Foursquare Gospel Church, and I'm talking about Nigeria specifically. So I came back to, and I was like, this religion is what brought me to this point where I felt like I could do something, I could be something that I was not. Especially this particular denomination, they believed in striving and forcing, and any idea of comfort, any idea of any voice of your own, any inner voice you had was of the devil. That was the basic tenet of this denomination, or is the basic tenet. So I was like, okay, people that give me a roof over my head and pay my school fees and give me food to eat, I don't want to go to your church anymore. And I received the biggest backlash. Like, I don't think I've ever been threatened like that by any sort of, they'll say things like, oh, criminals are in jail. Guy, have you ever received a violent threat from the person that gave birth to you or something like that? That's how you know that violence is very, very is of a very deep nature to man. Anyways, I received such a threat, and the thing shook me to my core. I felt paralyzed in that moment, in the sense like they were like, oh no, you are living under my roof, you need to go to, you must go to this place I'm going to, else you get out of this house or something. And of course I had nowhere to go, I'm not financially independent and all. So I stayed, I obeyed, but I was like, okay, if I'm going, I'm going to express myself however the fuck I want, and but then the church doesn't allow such sort of self-expression. But like that story is interesting to me because I bring it up to kind of illustrate the kind of wormhole. Was it wormhole? The kind of, I don't know, madness that I was having this awakening. I came in back to, like, this is somebody that, this person in particular, this person has since we were so young, I don't know if it was an attempt, because Christians never shut the fuck up. They are always wanting to change somebody to their religion. So I don't know, as we were kids, toddlers, tiny things growing up, as I and my siblings, they would say shit like, I was born into a family that did traditional worship, that basically made sacrifices to their various gods for different festivals of the year. I followed them to all of their shrines and everything. But then one day, I listened to the missionary, and God punished all those missionaries. There was a missionary a system that came to our school. This missionary fellows, they came to our school, they came to our village, and I believe the day that I gave my life to Christ and I joined the church. And I was like, and she said she told her mother, that was my grandmother, that, well, this is not good to your God, it's not my God anymore, I'm going to follow my God. And that she didn't really say if the woman made her life hell, if her mother made her life hell or something. But from what I saw that they basically just let her be. They just let her be, because first of all, my grandmother is a very hands-off person. God rest her soul. She's so hands-off. She's so laid back. Me and my grandchild. So I don't know. Probably I saw the best part of her. But from the way they were very single-minded, as in my uncles and my aunties, like they are very single-minded in their convictions. It felt like she was a very hands-off kind of parent. She was chilled. She was laid back because she was so. Another thing that this person also described my grandmother as was somebody that had her own life to live. She would fill her days with her business. She had this farm business. She was running this farm business, and she had plots of land. She would go far and wide. She was like, oh, there's nowhere my grandma has not been, retelling it to me. My grandma was so full of life, like of her own life. She had her own meaning to life, and she followed everything. And so when this person said they were going to be a Christian, she did not really stress her in that sense. So you should not really stress her in that sense. She just let her be. But yeah, she was very forceful. She went to church. She said she joined choir, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck it was, and she keeps saying it like she stepped away from idol worship. She was delivered from the devils of traditional gods and whatever. And it was admirable to us as kids. Like, imagine telling your mother that you don't want to do what they do. Like I did not process it that way, but like I'm just giving a summary of the feelings, that were probably that didn't have description then as a child. And so how ironic is it? And this woman, that's my grandmother, would, when she came to visit us, she would go with us to church. She would listen to the word of God. She would watch it when there was Sunday services played on TV. She would say, hey, leave it on to watch it all. She would kneel down, she would pray, she would sing and all of that. So when she was doing all of that, I feel like this person was thinking, oh, I've converted her finally to Christianity. I've made her into something that is better for her, that she's going to heaven, But there is a conclusion I now came to now, in this moment. But I'm not going to share it yet. Let's just continue. So when my grandma was doing all of those things, it was very admirable. Like, oh, this person has the power to, convert people to Christianity and whatever the fuck. And then that moment I had, by then when I was having this moment with this person, that, oh, I don't want to go to um your church. It's not like I said I don't want to be a Christian anymore. I didn't say that. I didn't say I don't want. In fact, I was listening to this pastor then, Pastor Joseph Prince, and he was such a different take. He had such a different take from what I'd always known, and it was very much more soothing to where I was at the time. I don't listen to him anymore. But it was very, 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 very soothing to where I was. And it even made me much interpret the Bible even better than before. Not better like, oh, there's a better way of, no, there's no better way of interpreting any shit. Anything your mind is attuned to is how you interpret shit. So it just aligned to the values I had, gave me a lot of confidence that, oh yes, believing in myself, all of it is still in line with what God wants for people and all that shit. And so I just said that this is your church. I don't think I want to go to church anymore. I want to go to so church, and it was just that. So you can see the irony. Just saying I want to go to another fucking denomination. Not that I'm saying I'm changing to another religion or I'm no longer being a Christian. I said I want to change denominations, and I got the threat of being thrown out of the house. I got so much violence. It wasn't physical violence. Obviously, it wasn't physical violence, but the violence was so memorable that I can't forget that feeling in a way. I hope I forget it. I hope it doesn't matter anymore. But recalling it now, so it was just like funny. It's like you have look at the kind of grace you were given to follow your own beliefs, but you can't give another person that grace. You get, like, your whole religion is a fucking farce, all of that. But I think it's just very, and now now thinking of it now, the conclusion I came to, I said I want to share, is that my grandmother was doing all of that not because she was convinced that some fucking God in the sky, some Christian God was going to take her to heaven. I think she was just doing it as a way of loving her kid, of supporting her kid, of being there, even if she couldn't be there the way the person expected them to be. But her way of being there for her kid, and it was so important because this person I'm talking about faced a lot of obstacles, for this religion thing and all, fine, among her, maybe her siblings or whatever. But her mother supported her through. Her mother was there for her. Her mother held her tight. Her mother gave everything, fought people and told people to leave, her alone and let her live her life, But she can't afford her own kid the same grace. She can't see. She really thought she was the one that made her mother. Of course, I don't know it's about a relationship in that into because maybe there are some things that she doesn't share. But for what she has shared and what I saw, I just felt like my grandmother was just trying to be a loving presence, a loving support for this person. I don't think she was ever converted my ass. She wasn't ever converted. She just did it because she wanted to show love and support to the decisions that her child made, and even now that I'm an adult, that person cannot afford me the same grace. I just feel like it's very ironic, and talking about it as that feeling in my chest has eased off. I feel so light. So I think this is the video for today. And thank you for being here and listening to me. I'm just going to try to relax today and let my mind be still. I will practice stillness, to allow these feelings bubbling up to the surface to be. I'm not going to hide it or try to make it better or cover it up. I'm just going to let myself feel. So that's the video for today. Hopefully next week, or the makeup challenge, I might feel inspired to do the makeup later this week, but if I don't, to still come up the following week. But as I was saying, we're following what is inside here. We're not doing anything external. So if there's no makeup video for today, then there's no makeup video for today. Yeah. Bye bye. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.